Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I thought we would talk about some news items that have been going around the last few days, and just put them all in one video so you can see them all. The first thing is a bunch of free stuff that is coming in for the War Thunder Esports side of things. They're doing the first WTCS Major of the year. This is basically just another one of their tournaments that they've been doing in the previous years, but now they've kind of formalized it and made it an actual thing. This is the Titan series for the War Thunder Championship Series of 2025. Basically, this tournament will be going from this weekend all the way until the 10th of May. If you want to get involved, you can register now on the War Thunder kind of esports client, and it gives you all the information basically on the page itself. You know, they're playing specific maps, they're playing very high tier vehicles because that's the things that people want to watch. They also show the prizes that are available. The first 2 weeks of the competition are going to be open qualifiers, so anybody can register, and then the playoffs will be on the 3rd of May and then the 10th of May. So that's when all of that will go. For the first 2 weeks, there is going to be a bunch of Twitch drops, basically for boosters and also premium time. So you'll be able to get some premium time. And then after that, I'm sure for the actual playoffs, they'll probably add some camos like they have before. So if you want the free stuff, like the majority of people, that's basically where it's going to be. The Twitch drops themselves are going to be on basically the next 4 weekends. So make sure to check them out on the official esports kind of setups, because then you can get your free stuff. If you want to participate, make sure to register before, of course, the weekend. Otherwise, it's not going to work very well. You will need 8 people, which have the high-tier vehicles to play together. So make sure to sort that out. Another piece of news is, of course, we have the next season of the Battle Pass, which is coming in about a week. So expect some dev blogs of the vehicles that are going to be coming in the next week. For me, I'm hoping that it doesn't really matter about the vehicles. The vehicles are always like the big talking point of these Battle Passes. But for me, I would like a little bit of a rejudge of the Warbond shop and maybe some other, secondary factors of the Battle Pass. I feel like they're kind of set in stone. When it comes to the vehicles, you're probably going to get 2 and then a loot box of the old stuff. But then imagine if the Warbond shop actually had a few more things in it, whether they bring back old stuff or whether they just make the premiums a little bit better. The premiums in the Warbond shop this time were incredibly weak, and that just sucks. That's really annoying. I'm hoping that in the future they kind of rethink how they're doing that instead of what we've got previously. And hopefully when it comes to the Battle Pass, it can improve. I mean, maybe they could add some profile backgrounds, maybe they can add some profile frames because they've just added those 2 things into the game, or maybe they can add something else too. But I'm hoping for a good theme. I'm hoping for a good kind of selection of premiums in the Warbond shop, and maybe add some other ideas like sell talismans or ability to purchase random modifications for vehicles, stuff like this, which we've talked about before. Talking about other stuff that is happening this month, remember that something interesting is happening. Good old the R2Y2s are being removed this month. So at the end of April, you will lose access to the R2Y2s, and unless you have them researched. Now, you don't need them fully researched, you just need a little bit of research in them, but that does mean that you do have to research the V1 and the V2, and the V3 you need a little bit of research in. If you don't do this, you will lose them forever. I'll be very surprised if they actually bring them back, and that is super sad, and it would be nice if they would bring stuff back, but as I said, it doesn't look like that's going to happen with this one. The last piece of news is the Meteor FR Mark 9 event starts tomorrow, and I feel like this event felt ages away last week, but yeah, it's going to be here tomorrow, and you can get yourself the Meteor. Remember, it has 7 stages to this event, and the event itself, if you want to get the coupon for it, it's 550 1,000 mission score, but each of the 7 stages is 30,000. So that's how much it will be to get it. Now, for me, when it comes to this vehicle, obviously people always ask me, what are these things worth? You know, what is this type of vehicle worth? And usually we talk about its demand and how it might be quite high, and, you know, there might be a lot of people who actually want this thing. I've got to be honest with you, Chief. There isn't going to be a massive amount of people who are going to want this, at least after the thing is gone. The few things that are working against it, first of all, the actual coupon itself, in order to get it, obviously, even if you just, like, you know, do it in skim, sorry, not skim, if you cheese it in sim, or if you do it like that, it's really not going to be hard to get the coupon for the Meteor F R Mark 9. And also, the fact is it's in the Israeli tech tree, which is one of the least played tech trees compared to many of the other ones. Even though nowadays it does have like a lot of really nice vehicles in it, it's not one of those which is going to like take the world by storm, because people just play other tech trees. And also at the same time, with the Meteor FR Mark 9, you basically have the same vehicle in the F8 in the standard tech tree. The F8 is actually technically a little bit better because of the fact that it doesn't have the extra weight if it's actually modeled in the game when they decide to bring the event in. So yeah, it's in a rough spot, right? Like the FR Mark 9 is not in a good place. It's in a tech tree that not a ton of people care about. It's also a super easy event to grind, so there's going to probably be more coupons than people realize, and there's going to be less people who want to keep the vehicle as well. So I can actually see the price of this thing being extremely low, like 10 or even 15 like Gaijin coin. Most vehicles, when they go onto the market, the Gaijin market, they usually start off at like 20, 25, 30, and then some of them go up, some of them stay where they are. I can hardly see this thing actually going a lot higher, which is kind of sad, because of the simple fact that there's just going to be so many of them that people actually grind out. The only thing that I can actually see from this, and it being cheap, being more expensive, is if people just don't bother with the event. And I do get that, because there is a lot of people who just have looked at this event and have gone, nah, not really that interested. You know, the vehicle doesn't look really good. But then those same people, they're still going to be playing War Thunder, right? They're still going to be going around the place. So they'll probably grind out the event just to sell the vehicle. And at that point, there's going to be a ton of them on the market. For example, the Kafir C10, right? The last Israeli event vehicle we had during the winter event. There is over 2,000 of them on the market, and it has just got over 20 Gaijin coin. The Kafir C10. So if that thing in the winter event, which was harder to grind if you were doing all of the other stuff alongside of it, that is only 20 Gaijin coin. This Meteor is going to be way less. Even stuff like the FV4030/3, the Sheer 2, which is a fantastic vehicle, that one still hasn't got over 30 Gaijin coin. It was also way more expensive. Yes, it was definitely in more demand, but there are nearly 1,500 of them on the market. So you're only saving grace if you are actually deciding to sell this thing, is to hope that other people aren't going to grind the event. And since so far this year, it's the easiest event to grind out of all of them, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that people are going to sit down and they're just going to get it done because it's going to be super easy to do. For me personally, that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be just kind of grinding the event, having a good time with it, and enjoying myself. And hopefully a lot of you guys do too. I'm going to be spading a bunch of planes, getting ready for the next battle pass, and just having a bit of fun. As always though, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.